Hello, my dear friends. I'm Dr. William Harris, and today I want to share an important message that most seniors over 60 have never heard before. Have you ever wondered why, even though you eat well, stay active, and do everything right, your legs still feel weaker than before? Why does walking up the stairs suddenly feel harder? Why does getting out of a chair take longer than it used to? Is this just aging, or is there something else quietly working against you? Here's the surprising truth. It's not always about what you don't do. Sometimes it's about what you're already doing every single day without realizing the harm. Most seniors make this one mistake with full confidence, believing it's the healthy choice, because they've been told all their lives that fruits are always good, always natural, always safe. And while that's true for many fruits, it's not true for all of them. What nobody talks about is this. Certain fruits can slowly weaken your legs, trigger knee pain, worsen joint inflammation, and make walking harder as you age. These are the very fruits you might be eating every week, thinking they're helping, when in reality they're quietly draining your strength. As we grow older, our circulation changes, our metabolism slows, and the foods that once boosted our health can now backfire, especially some fruits. They look harmless, taste sweet, and seem nutritious, but in reality, they contain acids, sugars, and compounds that disrupt blood sugar, fuel inflammation, and gradually chip away at your leg power. The worst part, the damage builds slowly. You don't notice it until one day your calves ache, your thighs feel tight, or your knees start hurting after just a short walk. That's why today I'm going to reveal the 5 worst fruits seniors over 60 should avoid if they want to protect their strength, stability, and independence. Once you learn the truth, you'll never look at your fruit bowl the same way again. So stay with me until the end. Your legs may be waiting for this wake-up call. And before we begin, take a second to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the health truths we uncover here. If this resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. Your voice matters more than you think. Now, let's get started with the very first fruit on the list. My friends, let's start with one fruit that surprises almost everyone I speak to in my clinic: pineapple. When you picture pineapple, you probably imagine tropical beaches, summer cocktails, and refreshing sweetness. For decades, it has been celebrated as a healthy fruit, especially because it contains a compound called bromelain, which is often praised for reducing inflammation. On paper, it sounds like the perfect fruit for seniors. Sweet, juicy, loaded with vitamins, and a natural anti-inflammatory. But here's the part very few people talk about. For older adults, especially those over 60, pineapple may quietly be doing more harm than good.
Let me explain why. As we age, the body's ability to regulate inflammation changes. Our joints are more sensitive, our circulation slows, and tissues take longer to heal. Pineapple is rich in fruit acids and natural sugars that can irritate sensitive tissues when consumed frequently. While bromelain has anti-inflammatory effects in small, controlled amounts, the acidic load of pineapple often outweighs the benefits. Many of my patients tell me that after eating pineapple, they experience stomach discomfort, bloating, or even increased stiffness in their knees and ankles the following day. That's not just coincidence. It's the body signaling stress. There's also the issue of blood sugar spikes. Pineapple has a high glycemic index, meaning it releases sugar into your bloodstream quickly. For seniors, this sudden spike can fuel inflammation rather than calm it. Elevated blood sugar doesn't just affect your heart, it also affects your legs. Muscles become weaker, circulation becomes unstable, and the tiny blood vessels in your lower body struggle under the pressure. Over time, this can mean slower recovery, more fatigue, and yes, reduced strength in the very legs that keep you independent. I remember one patient, Samuel, age 72. He came into my office complaining of persistent calf pain and swelling after walks. He was convinced it was arthritis worsening. When we reviewed his diet, I noticed he was eating pineapple almost daily. He loves starting his mornings with a bowl of fresh chunks. I asked him to remove pineapple for just 3 weeks and replace it with lower acid fruits like blueberries and pears. Within that short time, his knee stiffness decreased, his legs felt lighter, and he could walk longer distances without pain. Samuel was shocked. "Doc," he told me, "I thought pineapple was helping me, but it was actually holding me back."
The truth is, pineapple isn't bad for everyone. A younger, more resilient body may tolerate its acids and sugars with ease. But for men and women over 60, especially those who already have joint inflammation, blood sugar instability, or weak circulation, pineapple can tip the balance in the wrong direction. Instead of reducing inflammation, it may actually fuel the very pain and weakness you're trying to avoid. So what's the takeaway here? If you're over 60 and want to protect your leg strength, be mindful with pineapple. Enjoy it sparingly, maybe a small slice on occasion, but don't make it a daily habit. Your knees, calves, and circulation will thank you. Remember, my friends, not all fruits are created equal. What worked for you at 30 may not work the same way at 60. Your body has different needs now, and every choice matters. Pineapple may look innocent on your plate, but for seniors, it can quietly be the first step toward weaker legs and slower mobility. And that's why it tops our list today.
My dear friends, here's the twist about pineapple. For years, it's been praised as an anti-inflammatory food thanks to bromelain. But when I sit across from men and women over 60 in my clinic, I often see the opposite effect. Pineapple may quietly be harming your legs more than it's helping. Why? Because pineapple is loaded with strong acids and natural sugars. And after 60, your blood vessels don't respond the way they once did. They're more delicate, less elastic, and far more sensitive to sugar spikes. A few chunks of pineapple deliver a powerful dose of natural sugar into your blood. That surge might not seem like much at first, but here's what happens. Your blood sugar rises rapidly. Tiny vessels in your legs, feet, and muscles take the hit, and circulation weakens. Over time, less oxygen reaches your legs. And what's the result? Pain, swelling, fatigue. That dull ache in your calves after a short walk. The stiffness in your knees when standing up. Ankles that hurt even after sitting all day. Many of my patients tell me, "Doc, I thought pineapple was keeping me healthy, but my legs feel heavier than ever." They're shocked when I explain it's not always age, it's diet. And remember, pineapple is acidic too. That acid doesn't just affect your stomach, it can aggravate joints already inflamed with arthritis. Think of it like pouring fuel on a slow fire in your knees, hips, and ankles. Instead of calming inflammation, it can smolder it, leaving your legs weaker and more uncomfortable over time.
Now let me tell you about one more hidden danger. Pineapple contains bromelain, which may interact with medications, especially blood thinners. For some seniors, this means the medication becomes either too strong or too weak, a risk many don't realize until side effects appear. And here's the most dangerous part. Pineapple doesn't cause obvious or immediate harm. No sudden sharp pain, no dramatic reaction. The damage creeps in slowly, quietly, until one day you wake up realizing you can't move as easily as you used to. That's why I always tell my patients, you don't need to hate pineapple, but you do need to be mindful. If you've been struggling with unexplained swelling, knee stiffness, or that dragging heaviness in your legs, this fruit might be a silent culprit. Now, if a fruit that's praised for anti-inflammatory benefits can cause so much hidden trouble, what about the next one? A fruit that's soft, delicious, and known for its potassium. A fruit almost every senior eats daily. You might think it's strengthening your muscles, but it could be deceiving you. Bananas are often celebrated as a perfect food. Soft, sweet, and rich in potassium, they are widely recommended for energy, muscle health, and the prevention of cramps. However, for adults over 60, the reality is more complex. Bananas contain large amounts of natural sugar and rapidly digesting carbohydrates. This combination triggers an immediate spike in blood sugar, followed by insulin resistance when consumed regularly. Over time, this weakens circulation,
increases inflammation, and directly impacts the muscles of the lower body. Seniors may notice dull soreness when walking, heaviness in the legs after meals, and stiffness in the calves, all subtle warning signs that their circulation and muscle function are being undermined. Bananas also promote fluid retention, which can be particularly problematic for those with existing heart issues. This leads to swelling in the feet, ankles, and joints, further contributing to stiffness and reduced mobility. The effects are gradual, not immediate, which is why many continue eating bananas under the assumption that they are helping their muscles, when in fact they may be depleting strength over time. For older adults who experience swollen ankles, heavy legs, or joint discomfort, bananas may not be the ally they appear to be. Grapes are small, juicy, and easy to snack on. They carry a reputation as heart-healthy and antioxidant-rich. However, for seniors, their hidden impact on joint and leg health should not be overlooked. The issue lies in fructose, the primary sugar in grapes. In high concentrations, fructose is absorbed directly by the liver. When the liver cannot process it efficiently, it is converted into fat and uric acid. Elevated uric acid levels accumulate in the joints, especially in the toes, ankles, and knees, leading to burning pain, swelling, and stiffness. Many seniors who experience sharp pain in the big toe at night or unexpected stiffness in the calves may unknowingly be reacting to something as simple as a handful of grapes. This uric acid buildup fuels chronic low-grade inflammation, worsening mobility over time. Grapes may look harmless, but for older adults, they can quietly aggravate joint discomfort, reduce walking capacity, and accelerate leg weakness.
Watermelon is often viewed as the very symbol of hydration. Light, refreshing, and seemingly harmless with its high water content and low calorie count. However, for adults over 60, this reputation can be misleading. The hidden danger lies in its very high glycemic index. Despite its watery texture, watermelon acts more like candy inside the body, causing rapid spikes in blood sugar. For seniors, these repeated sugar surges place extra stress on already delicate circulation. The result is inflammation, swelling, and fatigue in the legs, particularly in areas such as the calves, ankles, and knees. Patients often describe a dull discomfort when walking short distances, unexplained swelling around the ankles, or heaviness in the legs after consuming watermelon. For some, even climbing stairs begins to feel disproportionately difficult. The problem is compounded by portion size. Because watermelon feels so light, it is easy to overconsume. One slice quickly turns into 2 or 3, amplifying the sugar load and further straining circulation. What seems like simple hydration can, in reality, lead to persistent leg stiffness, joint irritation, and reduced mobility. While watermelon may appear to be a safe and refreshing choice, for seniors, it can quietly erode strength and comfort in the lower body over time. Oranges are celebrated worldwide as symbols of health, vitality, and immunity. They appear in juices, breakfast tables, and countless supplements. Rich in vitamin C, they are often considered indispensable. But for adults over 60, the truth is more complicated. The hidden issue lies in their high citric acid content. While this acidity may seem harmless, it can quietly irritate already sensitive joints, especially for those dealing with arthritis, stiffness, or chronic inflammation. Seniors often report morning knee stiffness, persistent hip pain, or swelling in the calves and ankles after regular consumption of oranges or orange juice. The problem is twofold. Not only does citric acid irritate tissues, but when paired with the fruit's natural sugars, it also triggers blood sugar fluctuations. These fluctuations fuel systemic inflammation, leaving every step feeling heavier and more uncomfortable. You may believe that your daily glass of orange juice is protecting your health, but for aging joints and slower circulation, it may actually be contributing to the pain you're trying to avoid. The most challenging part is that the harm develops subtly, without clear warning signs, until stiffness and discomfort become routine. Younger bodies may tolerate oranges well, but for seniors, this healthy habit may quietly undermine joint comfort and mobility.